Let's go, bro.
Ecomi has just released the biggest update that we have ever seen from the OMI token, when today they released the OMI token portal and the first ever OMI Utility Program article. So in this video today, we're going to be diving in to both of those things, and I'll be breaking down what I think are the most important, the most exciting things that come from these. And I'll be giving my takeaways, what I think it means for the app, for the token, and for the future of our investments. So as you guys always know, this is not financial advice and it will never be financial advice. So keep that in mind as we go through, but there's so much to cover. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to dive straight into it. So let's go. So here we see the OMI token portal. So this is brand new, and I love it a lot because this is a one-stop shop for all things OMI. And especially if you don't know a lot about it, or if it seems really overwhelming. I know if it wasn't for people like Orion Crypto Trader, I know he hasn't made videos in a while. I really do miss that guy, but I learned so much from people like him and really early on. But without that, there is no way I would have figured out how the OMI token works, and I wouldn't have been so bullish on it. So I love that they have a really nice and convenient one-stop shop resource for all this information. So a quick brief description about the OMI token portal. It is designed to give you all of the current details and information about the OMI token and teach you how/where you can use them. So this is where you will go for all of your OMI needs. And with these new articles coming out, it sounds like there'll be a lot more news coming out much more consistently than we have ever seen before. And I would say just buckle up because things are about to get crazy. OMI has always been a very good investment in my opinion, just because we knew what was coming. We knew what they said was coming, but now we actually see in fine print, in the details, what it's going to look like. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, I just want to say I really appreciate the team, the Ecomi team, throwing me in here with all these legends, all these other content creators. In case you guys want to find more content creators and branch out and find more people that you may enjoy, they have links at the bottom of the token portal homepage. You can see down here the community directory. I'm in the Ecomi fam. There's great people in the VeVe fam, and yeah, I really appreciate being included in here. It really means a lot. So let's dive into what I think are the most important things about this new portal and this new OMI Utility Program. So here we go. In case you don't know what the OUP is, I will use this quick description to help you get up to speed here. So it's designed to reintroduce sustainable token functionality while providing a range of new utilities for the OMI token. So as the name suggests, the OMI Utility Program, it gives utility to the OMI token. I know it sounds pretty redundant, but honestly, in crypto, I feel like this is not something you see very often for a token to have true utility. I feel like it's always speculation about utility or the promise of utility, but very rarely do you actually see tangible benefits for holding a token and being able to spend it, transact, and use it freely and use it to acquire other things. In this case, you can use it to get more collectibles, to get more rewards, to potentially get collectibles. And it is one of the main reasons that I think that OMI is just one of a kind. So of course, I know most of you probably already know about this, but in case you don't know, you can of course go through this website, this description. I'll link to all this in the description. And I only have to link to the token portal, which is the reason why I love it, is because as you guys can see, there are links to literally everything in here. So once you click on stuff, it'll just keep branching out more and more. It'll provide links to things that's referenced in those articles that you clicked the links the first time. So man, all the info you could ever want is in here. And this is where I'm pulling all the info from. So link will be in the description. So that's the OUP. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Omi-to-gem. It is hard to state how insanely massive this is. And let me tell you why. So first of all, there are so many crypto whales that are crypto rich, but not fiat rich. And they want to keep their money in crypto. They like spending it in crypto for whatever reason it might be. You know, I'm sure they all have their reasons, but we have never had crypto access into VeVe. As you guys all know, if you've been using the app, it's only been fiat onboarding. You have to use a credit card. You have to use the Google Play Store or something along those lines. But that is all going to change now because you'll be able to use a wide variety of cryptos, not just ETH or not just USDT. A few examples that they list are USDC, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and there are going to be more. And so this is going to open up the floodgates to all kinds of crypto users. And, you know, NFTs, digital collectibles, crypto users are the people who, at least at this stage in the NFT life cycle, are the most likely to believe in this kind of thing and to invest in this kind of thing. So opening up this pathway, opening up this door for crypto whales, or just people who use crypto in general, to onboard that value onto the VeVe app is going to be insane. And that's just been something that has really held back VeVe and Ecomi a lot, is that they don't see it as pure from a crypto sense because they don't have full control over their funds. They can't pull their collectibles, NFTs out of the VeVe wallet. And they like things like, CryptoPunks and Bored Apes and those types of NFT projects because they have full control over what they own. And there's something to be said for that. I personally, that's not something that I worry about because I trust the VeVe team. I actually feel like it's safer to have it in there because they can actually do something about hacks and scams and people stealing stuff. Whereas on things like OpenSea, if someone hacks your wallet and takes your stuff, there's nothing that anybody can do about it. So it's on the blockchain and it's irreversible and it's gone. So kind of got off track there, but this is going to open up to those people. And so not only does it do that, but it also does something which I think is genius. And like it says here, when a user purchases gems using crypto, up to 2.8% of the transaction value will be contributed to the Omi-to-gem pool. So we're going to be touching on the Omi-to-gem pool next, but basically what this means is that when someone buys gems with crypto, a portion of those gems that they would have received will be taken out as a fee, and those gems will be placed into the Omi-to-gem pool. And so this was a workaround to the buybacks, which I think was a genius solution to being regulatorily, if that's a word, restricted from doing the original plan. And real quick, let me just say, this is why I'm so confident in the VeVe and Ecomi team, is because they don't take any shortcuts. They don't do anything half. Everything that they do is secure, safe, diligent, and they make sure to have all their bases covered. They are running a multi-million, probably soon multi-billion-dollar business. They don't want to risk any chance of it getting struck down or being illegal in any sense. So I just want to point that out really quickly. But next up, I want to move to the Omi-to-gem. So this is huge for the Omi token, provides even more utility besides just the in-app gamification. You can actually invest the Omi tokens into collectibles, which to me, that really closes the whole VeVe ecosystem, the whole loop. Omi has always powered the app in the background, but there wasn't too much, if anything, actually, that you could do with the Omi token. But I've always known that they'd be linked. I always knew that they would come through, and that's why I've been so confident in the Omi token. And now, soon at least, we will be able to purchase gems with our Omi. And so if you've been a really early investor, especially if you're investing around these times, when it's in the 0.001 range, then, in a few years, if Omi takes off how we think it will, then you could really, really increase your capital and really improve your collection, really scale it up. The team is initially funding $1 million to fund this pool to provide liquidity. And then of course, over time, it'll primarily be funded by the Crypto-to-Gem, like I keep saying. But this just shows how dedicated the team is. I feel like I've seen less of it recently because they've been really delivering, but for a while, since I've been in VeVe, there have been so many doubters, so many fudders who are saying, oh, they're going to run off with our money. They're going to rug pull us, blah, blah, blah. They're investing millions of their dollars into this to keep it afloat, to make it run smoothly to start off. So if there was still any doubt for whatever reason, I think you can erase all of that right now. And so this is just great utility on its own for the Omi token, let alone the other features, the other gamification that we will get into right now. So first up is the OUP tickets. And this is just going to be, I think this is going to be one of the most fun parts of the app and going to be one of the driving factors of the OMI Utility Program. I've been waiting so long for some kind of raffle ticket, some kind of drop queue, some kind of advantage for being an investor, being a holder. And this is not to be mistaken with the Master Collector drop raffle. I actually looked and it appears that it's going to be different because they specifically say the MCP drop raffle in the MCP article, which I will also link down in the description. I'm assuming it would make sense, but I'm assuming these are different programs, but going to serve very similar purposes as we will get into. So there are 3 types of tickets for the OUP. There are bronze, silver, and gold. And so first is bronze. And bronze tickets are non-refundable, but they are transferable. They are the only transferable ticket. No expiration, cannot be traded on the secondary market. And how you get a bronze ticket is by burning $1 worth of OMI tokens. So whatever the price of OMI is at that time, $1 worth. So, you know, as the OMI price is low right now, you can maybe get some bang for your buck with these bronze tickets whenever this gets rolled out. And all app users can purchase bronze tickets, whereas with the silver and gold, you'll need to be staking OMI. You'll have to be in the OMI Utility Program in order to use those silver and gold tickets. So what the bronze ticket does is it gives you additional chances to secure your favorite collectibles by entering them into a drop waitlist. So think of it as just an additional raffle ticket. You can put in as many as you want, and it is not going to give you a chance to get multiples. So that is going to be something that people need to kind of calculate, need to weigh out in their heads. Here's a quick example. Say you put in 100 bronze tickets, and I'm not sure if there'll be a way of knowing this or not, but say out of those 100, 2 of them would have landed. You only get to redeem 1. So the second one that you won is basically worthless. So if you would have spent only 50, you would have gotten it and then had 50 to spend for the next time. So there's going to be a drawback, pros and cons to spending a lot if you want to really give yourself a better chance of getting it, but then run the risk of not being able to spend tickets for future drops. That's going to be interesting, and it's going to be cool to see how people strategize and how people value these tickets. So next up is silver, and you cannot buy these in the same way that you can buy the bronze one for $1 of OMI. This is only earned through OUP staking. OUP staking or as a one-time progression reward. So you'll need to be actively involved in staking your OMI tokens in the OMI Utility Program to get these. So as you could imagine, these are going to be extremely more scarce than bronze, and gold obviously will be even more scarce than silver. And so what silver does, it's a bit different than bronze and gold, but you can redeem a silver ticket to waive all buyer fees for a single transaction in the following OUP functions. So OMI to NFT, OUP ticket trading, and OUP accessories trading. You could trade in the silver ticket and you could bypass those fees. So I think especially for OMI to NFT, that's going to become really valuable. And if you're just doing one huge transaction, you could really utilize that silver ticket. And I think that's gonna be pretty cool. I think it's cool that they made these have very different functions, and they want to incentivize people to climb through the ranks in order to put a lot of these functions to use. And so unlike bronze, these are non-transferable and non-refundable, and they must be used during the season that they are acquired. So it's going to force people to, or not force them, but it's going to incentivize people to make more transactions within the VeVe app, maybe spend their OMI tokens, or whatever it may be, OMI to NFT, any of these especially. It's going to incentivize people to not just hoard these and sit on them. It's going to make the ecosystem more robust. With that said, if you don't want to do anything with them, if you're just a hodler and you don't want to be too active, you can sell these in the secondary market. So just by staking, you could actually, there's no saying how valuable these will be, but just by staking, you could be earning some kind of residual income. And let me just say, I also want to butt in real quick to say something else about the OUP, and it relates to the MCP as well. This is the reason why I've been going so hard on Master Collector Program points and stacking up this OMI, is because of compounding rewards. So I was thinking, if I can stock up on these things now, meaning collectibles and OMI, while they're cheap, then once these programs come out, I'll be getting rewards. I'll be pretty high on the tiers, hopefully, because I'm so early, I'll be pretty high. And then when things are more expensive, it's going to be harder to rank up. It's going to be harder to get through these tiers. It's going to be harder to be a master collector. So I can just take my early movers advantage and I can compound my rewards. And so this is an example of that. You'll be just by staking and being in these tiers in the program, you'll be getting things that you can then sell. And so it's possible that these things, depending on how valuable they are, they could pay for themselves over time. So that's the silver ticket. And that's one of the main appeals I think about these programs, and why I think that they'll be really rewarding in the long term for people who are especially high up in these ranks. So now we are on to the golden ticket, and this is extremely valuable. This is really gonna, I think, make a lot of people who are not in the program upset. I don't say that to say that it's a bad thing, or I think that they shouldn't do it. I just think that people who don't have these golden tickets, they are going to be really wishing that they had more OMI. And I mean, that's the whole point of this program, right? Is to incentivize buying, selling, transacting Omi. So I think it's really achieving the goal that the team wanted to achieve with this. But this is extremely valuable, and this is because if you use a golden ticket, you are guaranteed to get the drop. And there's just one caveat, and that is that you will only not get the drop if there are more golden tickets submitted than additions available. In that case, it'll just be random, and there's still a good chance that you would get it. But if you don't get it, you'll get redeemed your gold ticket to use for another drop. So I could really see for things like Pokemon or maybe some first appearances of some major Disney or Marvel or Star Wars characters, I think that the entire drop, depending on the amount of additions, of course, could be all swallowed up by golden ticket holders. So I very much plan to use these when the time is right. Got to give a quick correction here. For the golden OUP tickets, it is not possible that golden tickets could completely swallow up an entire collectible on the drop. And that is because they're going to be doing a percentage of waitlist reservations will be held exclusively for the golden tickets. And it says that some drops may even not be eligible for the golden OUP ticket entries. So just got to clear that up. And similar to the silver, you can also sell them on the secondary market. So if you don't want to use it, or if there aren't any drops that make you want to use this during the season, then you can of course sell it and still get some value out of it. But what I would say is probably the most fun and exciting part of these golden tickets is the VeVe land redemption. So I did not see this coming whatsoever, but golden tickets don't just stop with VeVe. They will also offer ticket holders a way to redeem land in the VeVe. More details to come. I cannot wait for those more details, because the VeVe it is being announced very, very, very soon in Decon Anaheim, and I will be there, by the way, in case you'll be there. You know, shoot me a comment, shoot me a DM, let me know. But having guaranteed first dib access to at least some kind of land in the VeVe is going to be so valuable in my opinion, and I'm extremely happy that they threw this in as an added benefit for the OUP. And in the staking rewards section, it says, in staking season 5, each golden OUP ticket will be redeemable for an exclusive piece of land in the VeVe. Land redemptions will only be available during this season using golden OUP tickets and will close with the end of season 5's grace period. So I'm not sure if I can make it happen or not, but I am definitely looking to get into this tier 5 by season 5. That would be a huge goal for me. I would love to get that VeVe land. And so what I didn't say though is that VeVe is going to change to a drop waitlist. And it's no longer going to be the wait for the second to hit, and then you hit the button, and if you have a good internet and a good phone and luck and a fast thumb, then you will get it. So I do agree that the rush of the time drop is a lot of fun, and I think it is what has hooked a lot of people, and it is a really fun thing, I will say. But the waitlist will be more fair. You can use bronze and gold in this new waitlist system and increase your odds of getting that collectible that you want. So we're gonna move on. And next is burn reward points. So I was not sure how burning was gonna be used. I wasn't sure why people would want to burn anything. I was really I was operating under the wait and see approach as to how this is gonna work. And I just couldn't really see how it was gonna happen, but I think they had a good solution, and let's explore it here. So originally when they were saying burning, I was mainly thinking about like burning collectibles or that kind of thing. And I was like, man, you would have to get a lot of points, and the points would have to be very valuable for people who want to burn collectibles that they could sell for actual money, especially now that we can cash out. But you will still get these burn reward points for just transacting. So as you guys may have seen, I might have touched on it, my apologies if I didn't, but all of these OUP features, all these transactions will be burning Omi. And so you'll be getting credit for that Omi burning. And so just by transacting within this ecosystem, just the fees that come along with it, they will be accruing for you, and then you can spend those points. So this is yet another incentive to transact and use the app and use your Omi. Buy, sell, transact Omi. That's the name of the game, right? And man, this is just so genius about how they're really incentivizing people to use crypto in a never before seen way. And I really believe this is extremely revolutionary, and the crypto community, the crypto landscape has not seen anything like this. And when the next bull run comes around, I am just so confident that once this catches traction, once just a few of the right people really catch on to this and learn about it and start talking about it, it's gonna catch fire. I really believe that when people see all the Disney and Marvel and Star Wars, and who knows what else is gonna come out by the time the next bull run comes around, because it's unfortunately looking like we're gonna be down bad for a little while here. But no, for burn reward points, you do not need to burn collectibles per se. I believe that might still be coming. I actually don't, I haven't seen anything about that in here, but just by the fees, you'll be getting points. You might be thinking, oh, what could you use the points on? So you can spend them on bronze tickets, or you can spend them on fast tracking through the tiers, which we will get through the tiers a little bit later, but there's a waiting period to advance through them. Even if you have enough OMI tokens, you still need to wait to advance through the different tiers. And this can speed up that process so you can start earning and using those rewards sooner. Next up is OMI to NFT, another extremely exciting feature, and an extremely long awaited feature as well, that is finally coming to fruition, and it is just so exciting. I'm going to keep harping on it because I think it is so important. More and more reasons to buy, sell, transact OMI. It's just, I really love how they put this all together. I'm really, really impressed. And so how this is going to work is that you can, in the store, you'll be able to use OMI to NFTs. It's a little bit, you know, a little bit loose with the words. It's one extra step than OMI to NFT. And that's because since we now have Omi-to-gem available, or, you know, it's going to be available, then you can use those gems to buy drops in the store. And then, but then on the market, people can list their collectibles in OMI, and then you can just use straight OMI to buy it then. So that's true OMI to NFT. And then in the store, it'll just need to be convert OMIs to gems and then gems to the NFT. So similar to crypto to NFT. I mean, I guess this is still technically crypto to NFT, but just specifically OMI. But in a very similar way, this is going to open up the floodgates to so many more people. There's some people who only buy OMI and they think that that's been a better investment. They don't want to touch the collectibles. And so that's going to give them opportunities to get into the VeVe game. And, you know, say they bought it at 0.001, say in the future it's 5 cents. Their capital just increased all that much. And then before you know it, we will have whales that can just drop in absurd amounts of money into collectibles. But to them, they may be only invested 1,000, just say, and then they have like 100,000 to work with in the future. So to them, it's just a $1,000 investment that they can now splurge on collectibles, and it's not them just paying out of pocket crazy amounts. So this is going to create a lot of VeVe whales, and it's going to put a lot of buying pressure eventually in the VeVe market, and it's going to make the grails and those types of high-end collectibles just that much more scarce and that much more sought after over time. And big shout out to Randy Chavez, because when I met him for the first time at DCon last year, he was telling me about his OMI collection, his OMI holdings, and why he invests so heavily in OMI. And he said something that I never really thought about until he told me this, and I think it's so smart. But he was saying that he's just going to stock up on OMI now, and then once the price of OMI goes up, then he could really buy almost any NFT he wants if he has enough OMI and if it's valuable enough. And then he can upgrade, he can use his collection then to just keep upgrading, because I do agree that besides maybe a few collectibles here and there, I do think, especially at these prices, OMI is going to be the best return on investment that you will probably get at this entire ecosystem. I'm not sure how long that'll be the case, or if, you know, I could of course be wrong, but I do think that if you're looking for strictly return on investment, I do think OMI is the best bet, especially right now. And so this is going to open up that door to people who have been using that strategy, or just who have been increasing their OMI bags. Once OMI takes off even more, and we will see the prices of collectibles, in my opinion, start to go up long term. And also, the higher tier you are in the OUP, the less fees you'll need to pay. So you could drop it from 2.5% all the way down to 0.5% of fees. So you'll be saving more OMI by staking more OMI. So you'll be getting more bang for your buck, and you can then put that OMI toward more collectibles or toward more staking tiers, whatever it might be. So next up is the staking tiers and the fast tracking. And I briefly touched on this earlier, but I'll go through it while we're here. And so there are different tiers, as you may have seen earlier, with higher tiers obviously having higher rewards, such as lower fees. And I also mentioned being able to spend your burn points to fast track through tiers. So this is what that means. So here are the tier amounts. So tier 1, you'll have to stake 2,500 worth of OMI, and then you will be in tier 1 immediately. But then once you stake, or say you stake 10,000 all at once, it'll take you 30 days to actually reach the tier 3 tier. The tier 3 tier. It'll take you 30 days to get to see your $10,000 staking actually take effect, to get the rewards in the app. But you can also spend to fast track that. There are multiple options to how you want to spend, whether it's OMI or, like I said, the burn points, and you can just get there faster if you really want to take advantage of those rewards. I really want to fast track. I just personally, I don't think for the amount of OMI that I have and the amount of fiat that I have on hand, and I'm not going to be able to burn enough anytime soon, I don't think, to cover it. I don't think fast tracking will be the way for me. I think my OMI will be more valuable than spending it to fast track. I'm a pretty patient guy. I've been holding OMI and VeVe for almost 2 years now, through thick and thin. So I think I'm pretty patient. I would love to fast track. I just don't think it's gonna make sense for me, unfortunately. But if you're able to do that, if it makes sense for you, I would. I'm gonna hold off until things get closer, actually, to make a recommendation on that. So I think these tiers are fair, especially when you consider the fact that your OMI investment can shoot up a lot. Investing 500 today could, I'm not saying it's going to, but it could lead into some of these higher tiers in the future. And of course, the more you invest, the higher chance you have of reaching these as the OMI token increases. But it's about the cheapest that we're going to see it right now. So any OMI that you're picking up around this time is, I think you're going to easily get to a lot of these tiers in a few years from now, if not sooner. I think they did a good job of walking the fine line between rewarding whales and not making it too top heavy to where only the richest people can get the best rewards, and kind of have a compounding effect of the rich getting richer. And they already have all the money to buy the collectibles, and now they have even more advantages on top of that. I think they did a good job of making, 40,000 is still unattainable for the vast majority of people, but it's not impossible, especially, like I keep saying, with the value of OMI going up. And I think it's an overall fair amount. So next up is staking and unstaking. So the staking runs by seasons, which is every 3 months, and there will be a snapshot to determine the seasonal staking rewards that we send to each participant. And there will also be a grace period in which you can withdraw your staking without penalty. So it's going to go every season. So I don't think that's too much of a commitment to tie up your OMI for that long. And you can test it out for a little while, see if you think the rewards are worth it, and you can pull it out within a few months with no penalty. Or, if you really have to, you can take it out with the penalty. And as you can see here, important to note, the OMI staking rates remain fixed for the entirety of the season. So it'll all be broken up into seasons, and that'll be consistent until the new one comes. And then we'll kind of regroup, we'll reassess, and that's how that's going to work. So now we have the staking rewards, which I'm sure the majority of us are really looking for. And I did not see this coming, but I think it's really cool. They are going to be giving out collectibles every single season, depending on what tier you're in for that season. So if you're in the highest tier, you'll be getting a full set every single season of OUP exclusive, or I'm assuming it's exclusive. Okay, yeah, here it is. non-licensed exclusive reward and an amount of OUP tickets. So you'll get collectibles and you'll get OUP tickets. So as you guys may remember, bronze are the only ones that you can buy straight up, like out of existence. And then silver and gold you'll need to earn through either one-time rewards or through these seasonal rewards. So as you can imagine, the first gold ticket going out is in tier 3, which is 10 grand worth of OMI. These are going to be pretty rare. These are only going to come out only a few per person every 3 months. So I'm really curious what the resale on those is going to look like and how people are going to value them opposed to being able to actually use them. Like, are people going to value almost guaranteeing a drop over the value in the market? We'll see. Everyone's going to have a different opinion, but I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. And this entire program is just going to give so much more new life, so many more new possibilities to this app. It's going to change strategy. It's going to change everything, and everything for the better. And in my opinion, at least. And I'm so excited to see how all this shakes out. And I'm really looking forward to getting these rewards. And going back to the compounding rewards I was talking about, just if you're lucky enough to be chilling in tier 5 and just permanently chill in tier 5, you're getting set after set after set. And then guess what? Those sets get you Master Collector Program points, which get you additional rewards, which this is not the point of this video, but just think about that. These programs, once they're really fully in motion, man, if you're high up in both of those, you're just gonna be rolling in it. You're gonna have priority in drops. You're gonna have free collectibles that you could sell or rack up extra points with. It's gonna be so much fun. And then on top of the seasonal rewards, there are also yearly staking rewards. And so it's very similar, but I think this is a great way to incentivize people to just keep hanging on to them, keep the tokens staked up, and all of this is going to make everything so robust. And now we're at the development roadmap. We see here that the waitlist drop system and the Crypto-to-Gem are the only ones that are meaningfully almost complete, with the waitlist, of course, being the closest to being complete. And then, but I am very happy that Crypto-to-Gem is almost here, because that's one of the things I'm most excited about. So everything else, I'm honestly, when it's this low, I'm not even thinking about it right now. I'm just gonna not get my hopes up. I'm just gonna enjoy what we have at this moment. I'm gonna let them develop it and let it come when it comes. You can keep checking back here to actually see what is gonna be looking like it's gonna be released next. And I'm pretty sure here my dark mode is making this like kind of discolor, hard to read, but here you go. That might help. But this is what must be developed first, just so you guys, can keep in mind, just so you can know kind of the progression of things, and that things have to be in place for the next one to be built on top of it. So this might be a good way in case you want to kind of keep up with things and just want to know what's coming, as to, okay, when Crypto-to-Gem comes, then we can start looking forward to layer 2 spot trading, and then we can start looking to the track, that kind of thing. So this can be a way to help set your expectations accordingly. So that should do it for the breakdown. Thank you very much for watching. It is possible that I missed a few things here and there. There's a ton of info, and I tried to get this out relatively quickly while it's fresh and while it's still exciting. And I'll be reading through this more times, and I will be updating. I'll be making videos if anything really catches my attention, or if anything seems really important or worth touching on. Before I sign off, I just want to check in and just apologize for my lack of videos, in case anybody, if you look forward to them or have been wondering what's going on. It's just been a really crazy few months, and I've been just a really busy guy, and I really want to make these. It's been harder for me to keep up, and I sometimes feel like if I'm not able to be fully in the know and fully keep up with everything, I feel like it might not be my place to be making a video where I'm telling you guys about it. I really respect my audience, and I don't want to just put out a video just for the sake of putting out a video. I don't want to put out any information that could, mislead people or could give people the wrong idea. So I just try to be very careful with what I put out. And for that reason, I've been slowing down. There've been a lot of factors, and there are just more things that I want to take some time to digest and really think about and research before I make it into a video for you guys. But I've still been keeping up with what I can. I've still been active on Twitter. I've still been seeing everything, but I just want to keep you guys updated in case you were curious. But with that being said, I want to thank you very much for watching. It feels good to be recording again. And as always, my name is NFT Flenny. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked, comment if you got something to say, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, guys. So I'm gonna head out here. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'll be trying to be more active if I can. With all that being said, my name is NFT Flenny, and I'm out of here. Peace, guys.